Hello everybody, Mr. Akins here, and welcome to What's on the Comic Rack. In this video, I'm going to be responding to a tag challenge by I Have Comic Issues. I'm not declaring anything. I do have comic issues. It's both a mental and a physical disorder. No, I'm talking about the channel I Have Comic Issues. I Have Comic Issues issued a tag challenge to me and a couple other people. And I love doing these tag challenges. I love the Friday challenges Comic Collector Geek puts out. I'll put a link to I Have Comic Issues tag challenge video in the description below. I think my favorite part about his video was he picked his top 5 X-Men covers. And the covers he picked were from 5 completely different artists. I thought that was a great idea. So what do you do with a great idea? You do something completely different. I'm going to pick covers all by the same artist. I'm going to try to pick a series that I don't see people doing very often. It's a series I bought off the rack. So we're going to talk about some Copper Age issue comics here. I love many of the covers from this series, and I love this artist. But I'm kind of also curious about the fact that I don't see this artist featured a lot. Is it the fact that it's just they like the artist that I'm going to feature, but it's not in your top tier? Or is it the other extreme? I don't like the artist. I can see some of the style, some things about his style that people wouldn't like, but I do like the artist, and I'm curious about whether or not people like or dislike this artist. So put in the comments, do you like this artist that I'm going to show? Do you not like this artist I'm going to show? The artist I'm talking about is Arthur Adams. The series I'm talking about is Classic X-Men. I really love a lot of these covers from Classic X-Men. I like Arthur Adams, and I'm kind of curious of whether or not you out there in comic book land like or dislike Arthur Adams, or he's like, I don't really care or not care about Arthur Adams. So let's get to looking at those covers I picked for Classic X-Men, all by Arthur Adams. We're going to start off with Classic X-Men number 18. Great cover by Arthur Adams, and this reprints X-Men number 112. The story so far: the X-Men have just freed themselves from the control of Mesmero, and now they have to face off against Magneto. Another classic X-Men Magneto face-off. You'll notice as I start to show these comics that on the outside of the bag a piece of paper is taped right here, and that is stating the actual issue of the X-Men that this comic actually reprints. These comics weren't actually filed as Classic X-Men comics. These things, or these issues, are actually filed in my X-Men box because they're filed in actually reading order. So it's filed in as Uncanny X-Men or X-Men number 112. So there you go, Classic X-Men number 18, great cover by Arthur Adams. Next, we have Classic X-Men number 21. Great cover with Kazar and Zabu. Now, one of Comic Collector Geek's Friday challenges was pet covers. I originally wanted to use this cover for one of my pet covers, but I saved it because I knew I wanted to use it for a Classic X-Men top 5. So this issue reprints X-Men number 115. To me, I love this cover. This is a great cover with Kazar and Zabu with X-Men in the back. Love this cover. Next, we have Classic X-Men number 1. Now, this is a reprint of Giant Size X-Men number 1. This cover is awesome. I have seen it on t-shirts. I'm sure it's been made into a poster. And since this is issue number 1, let's talk about what makes this Classic X-Men run so great, in my opinion. It offered a lot. What did it offer? Well, one thing, it offered new covers. Sometimes
totally new, sometimes reimagined from maybe the art inside, maybe it was inspired by the art inside, but we had totally new covers, or we had the old covers inside the comic. So that was great. We had additional art on the inside of the cover. I'll try to show some additional art that they have on the inside. It's great as well. So it's always nice to have great new art. Additional pages. Sometimes while the story was going on, they would put additional pages that would tie into the current continuity that was going on. So it was a great jumping off spot for getting into the X-Men to me. Also at the end, sometimes they would have new material and stories at the end, and these stories were a lot of times written by Chris Claremont himself, so that was nice. Another great thing about these comics, there were no ads. It was all comic. And it was all comic for merely $1, my friend. So that was just some of the things I loved about this classic X-Men run. Next, Classic X-Men number 3. Another beautiful cover by Arthur Adams. I love this picture of Storm. And of course, this is one of those comics that is the 25th anniversary specialty border with all the characters of the Marvel Universe around. This was printed on select covers of different issues at the time. Came out in November of 1986, so a lot of the comics in this time had this classic border around it with just a picture of the character Iron Man, Captain America in the center, whatever it was, and it was on select issues of different comics. So Classic X-Men number 3. And last, Classic X-Men number 20. This reprints X-Men number 114. Now, I wasn't able to pick up the Claremont Byrne X-Men run when it first came out, so this was my first exposure to that. This is also an example of taking interior art and iconic interior art and using it to recreate a totally new cover. I will put an image of the interior panel to show the inspiration that was used for this cover, but this right here could possibly be my favorite cover from Classic X-Men.
And there are 5 of my favorite Classic X-Men covers by Arthur Adams. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the part of the video where I say hit like, hit subscribe, put a comment. I would really like to thank I Have Comic Issues. I was recently watching a video by Collecting with Dirts about how he was talking about how enjoyable it is and how much joy you get out of finding out that somebody's actually watching your videos and enjoying your videos. It's like having a conversation with somebody and them actually listening. So I really appreciate I Have Comic Issues for thinking of me in this tag video. Please check out his channel. A link to his video is in the description below. A link to his channel is in the description below. This is also part of the video where you have to tag somebody else. So here come the tags. What's up? I'll tell you what's up. I'm tagging Obito Comics. Now, I too am a connoisseur of the She-Hulk. I remember being introduced to her when she first joined the Avengers, and I fell in love with her when she was written and drawn by John Byrne when she joined the Fantastic Four. So Obito, I'm kind of curious, what are your favorite, or what are 5 of your favorite She-Hulk covers that you own? I'd love to see those.
Next person I'm tagging is Cody from Where'd You Get That? A lot of times when I say Where'd You Get That, I can hear my mom's voice saying, Where'd you get that? Cody and Where'd You Get That is an awesome channel. It has all sorts of things on this channel. So I'm kind of curious, what are your top 5 favorite, or just 5 of your favorite football cards? I noticed you got football cards. I'd love to know 5 of your favorite football cards that you own. If you've got some baseball cards, maybe those as well. But I know you got some football cards, so 5 favorite football cards. I'd love to see those, Cody. And my last shout out is going to be the OG of shout outs himself, Big B McFly, the comic guy.
Big B McFly, where do you like to get your comics? What are your top 5 places to get comics? Do you have great LCSs that you'd like to shout out? Cons, what are your favorite cons you like to get comics? Yard sales, flea markets, things like that. Where are your top 5 places to get comics? So until next time, I'll see you around the comic rack, and y'all have a great day.